Hey.
Sorry, hold on, stop. Hold on.
Machiavelli production.
Skirt, skirt, that, broad skirt, tat, that, Brahma bull, rampant, slender, as admired. Machismo's ignited, punk waddles inspired. Rat tat, rip that shit quick, pause that shit, they riff on fleek. Lil Chad's voice, spitting that tea, unless your name is Steve, call us for free. On the real, that dude's starting to scare me. MADePAP, MADePAP. Oh, an imp is here
I forgot to set it as the intro. All right, welcome to the 22nd episode of MADePAP. I'm me, they're them, we're us, and we are the YouTube equivalent of Braille because people feel
us when we speak.
That's right.
When we speak.
When we speak.
Like a speakeasy.
When we MADePAP.
Did you really make the verse about you Mads ignited?
Yeah.
I mean, figuratively, literally, philosophically, yes.
Sure, all of them.
That man is on fire.
Anyway, as you can see in the chat, the pinned comment should be where you can tip if you enjoy this or have ever enjoyed anything I've ever done at any point. You should tip. Doesn't have to be specifically
I guess
related
I still
to this.
have no reason to tip.
At some point, Mad will see a tip and read it. There's just no guarantee it'll be timely or appropriate for when you post it. So just
Let's say hey to
disclaimer.
people in the chat.
Or for the actual amount that you gave?
Josh Hammond says, "What's Gucci, my imps?" I don't like that. That's weird. He does it all the time. I don't like it. I guess instantly think of the imp from what's the imp? You know the imp. You
Game of
named
Thrones?
yourself after him. Imp.
The
No,
imps in
I
Hercules?
No, the imp in the one with the briefcase with gold in it and John Travolta's in it. Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. Isn't there an imp in that?
Battlefield
Saturday Night
Earth.
Fiction, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that guy was called the Gimp.
Oh, am I thinking Gimp?
Yep.
Oh, that radically changes how I see your name now.
I'm writing
Anyway,
this down.
Kept my mouth shut.
Brep. What? See, you said it again. Well, I guess it doesn't bother me now that I know it's not Gimp. Anyway.
Okay.
Soul Assassin here as always, my brother. Mad should put his number in a truck stop rest. Oh, wow.
He'll get a
What
lot of
about-
calls if he does.
What
He
about
can
He
only do
just
that.
did because he put it on Twitter.
Do that all the time. It's not my number. It's the show's number. Mr. Grant Gregory, what's up, brother? Willie
I
DEE is
know.
my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah, and yeah.
No, it does not count as anything. Anyway, let's see. I guess we'll do sports talk first. Nothing's happening. So moving on.
The Mavericks are still getting ready to get that number one pick.
I mean,
Man.
Cubs are getting their asses kicked by the Cardinals right now.
Oh, OKC won a championship.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened. You would think
By
that
the
would
way,
be the headline.
They have Matt, I don't know if you realize this, they had the most prolific run of the best player on the other team getting a massive season-ending injury every series they faced somebody.
I mean, when you got it, you got it.
In Game 7 of the finals, or Game 6, Halliburton goes out with an Achilles. So, which, by the way, means that he will be out all the way through what would be the NBA Finals next season. So, don't be putting money down on the Pacers next year.
Well, it's time for a new segment. I have no theme song for. I don't even know if we're going to do it next week, but it's called "What's Your Russian Horoscope?" And since we have two Taurus on here, who's the two Tauruses? Raise your hands. Figuratively.
Raising
Verbally.
one.
I'm figuratively raising my hand right
All right,
now.
you two. This is for you. Are you ready? This is your horoscope for tomorrow. I figured we'd do this daily. So for
Okay.
tomorrow. You can be accused of playing backgammon with ghost. Today, your goal is to convince your brain and liver that you exist. The stars advise you to take part in the quote, "I am a pumpkin," unquote competition. It would not hurt to buy a set for celebrating Students' Day. Got all that?
I'm a pumpkin.
I mean, how did they know that I was playing backgammon with ghosts?
Well, you could be accused of it. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't planning on abusing my liver just to remember I was alive tomorrow, but apparently that's what I'm supposed
No,
to
you
do.
need to remind your liver that you're alive because
Yeah.
it's the one that needs the reminder, not you.
Oh, okay. So
All right.
don't abuse it? Okay.
Now we have a couple of Virgos. Imp, you don't get yours read because you never responded to my question about it.
When I was going to, you said never mind.
I don't remember that. What are you?
Cancer.
Ugh. All right, Virgos.
Of course.
Yeah, you are a
Yes.
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ra-
fitting, I
raise your
know. Yeah, it
verbal
won't be the first time
hand.
I've heard it.
Verbal hand raised.
Yep.
All right, this is for you. The season of jumping to the right begins. Boy, you're already well ahead of that one, huh?
Yeah, seems like it.
Excessive drooling and fried oatmeal are possible. The
What?
day the day is suitable. This is Russian, okay? The day is suitable for painting your ass the color of cucumbers. Okay, I'll
Okay.
keep going. If you are sad today, you can beat the neighbor's children with a shovel.
Nice.
Very
Oh,
Russian.
wait, hold on a second. I want to
Uh.
clarify because I have some annoying ass neighbor kids, and
Uh-huh.
and so I'm not going to necessarily be disinclined to take them. To take
Well, if
the
you're sad
advantage of-
tomorrow, just bring a shovel. Remember, your body is just a big inflatable pig.
What?
Is that why you paint your ass green?
I don't. All right, Cancer, Imp, for you. Morning is good for throwing balalalaka at people. I don't know what that is.
Baklava?
Yeah, baklava. Is that what it's called? I'm reading. I'm
That's
motherfucker.
an
This is how
actual
it,
word, yes.
it's BALALAIKA.
No, that's not baklava. I
No,
don't know what
it's
that's supposed to be.
not balaclava or anything like
No,
it.
it's balalalakaka. Like I said, damn it. During the day, lie on the couch in the dragon pose, looking ahead with big and dull eyes. The horse.
Big and dull. D-U-L-L.
Is this
Yes,
Google
yes.
Translate?
No, man, this is just Russian shit. Damn. All right, here we go. Hold on. Where am I at? Oh, yeah. The horoscope advises you to behave like a spoiled predator, jump over lesbians, drink gasoline, etc.
As you do.
As a Russian
And-
would.
For all my Leos out there, which I guess this is me, try to get drunk on public transport. This will protect you from falling from the moon. A good day to learn the art of smoking rats.
Like cooking them? Or
I don't know.
like inhaling them?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Or teaching them how to get, hotbox.
No, it's none of the. Yes, this is it. It's a musical instrument. I knew it. Thank you, 11 Alpha. That's what I was saying. Was just musical. What was that? Oh yeah. Most likely, your mind will be swollen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can start shooting porn with Belahasi. Shake your head at the slightest opportunity. All right.
So with your hair back and forth?
You know, I keep hearing, I keep thinking of, Weird Al Yankovic, That's Your Horoscope for Today song. And, it brings me back.
I see where he got the idea.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we're going to do more of them because I got one asking for Pisces and one for Aquarius. Pisces, okay, here we go.
Aquarius?
Aquarius. I thought it was Aquarius.
No.
Aquarius.
Is it the age of Aquarius?
It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Why do I know that? Ooh, look at me. I'm Brahma Slender. We use crystal as deodorant. Whatever.
Pure aluminum.
Fucking hippies. All right, Aquarius. If you find that your hair has become rough like a donkey's, this is normal.
Okay.
This from Russia. That's where I'm getting it from. By the
With
way,
love?
yeah, everybody that has like the ability to highlight chat. Where was that? Was I on Aquarius, right? Aquarius?
You were still on Aquarius.
Yep,
and
okay.
Donkey hair?
This is a great day to start feeling like linen. Small victories over wine cellars are possible.
Yeah.
Erotic experiments with a vacuum cleaner are not excluded.
Okay.
Are not excluded.
Yeah.
What
else
about
do
a
we have?
shop vac?
I mean, I think
That
would
is a kind of vacuum,
count.
right?
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
we got a Virgo wants to know. Virgo. Here we go. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Sherry. Some of the emails are about you.
Didn't you already read Virgo?
Oh yeah, I did.
I was going to say, I
Yeah,
thought
you were
so,
late.
considering we got 2 Virgos on the
I know.
panel.
All right, I see a Libra. Listen, if you guys are just naming them to hear them, that's not going to count. So Libra.
we've got
this is the last one.
2 Virgos, and we've got an absolute super representation of what a Leo is.
Did I get them from her? Maybe. Anyway,
Because Mad, you would be a Leo, right?
yeah, I'm a Leo.
Yeah, 100% you are.
Yeah, of course I am. Libra. Today, it wouldn't hurt you to change into a black dress and go to a pig farm. You might,
The thing about pigs.
They
Little back
do.
dress?
you might
why
have to
would
wear. You might have to wear chainmail and a leather jacket.
Mhm.
You might want to kick the world. A good time to start pretending to be a female reptilian.
Poor Sherry has to rewind now to hear the Virgo. That's okay.
All right. Well,
Which means you got to give her time.
I might as well just freaking read all of them. Scorpio, if you're out
Yeah,
there.
do it.
Oh, God dang it. All right, Scorpio. The likelihood of incest increases. Astrologers advise squeezing the juice out of yourself.
Can we roll back to the fact that it's saying it increases like it's already, like there's a baseline level.
You can increase from 0.
Oh, so they're trying to prevent incest, so that's why they want you to squeeze all
oh,
the juice
right.
out of yourself.
Yeah, that way
And
you're
now
not
we've
tempted.
got Ascension Dildo squeezing juice out of himself.
All right, let's see here. It is recommended to take part in a secret attempt to.
I'm stuck, stepson.
It is recommended to take part in a secret attempt to grape, without the G, communism through a kitchen rag in order to earn double bald points.
And this comment, by the way, is brought to you by Brahma, who won't let Sherry change her.
I didn't highlight it.
In the evening, try to find a new use for your anus.
Oh my god.
A
This,
new use.
Yeah, you already have one main one.
Punk Waddle's like, I already have 7. I don't need an
Yeah.
additional.
I mean, when we've talked about the main squeeze already, what else do you need?
All right, I get
Ooh.
Sagittarius. Do y'all? I'll just go through the rest of them. We're already this far.
Did
in.
you say
Yeah,
Sagittarius?
Sagittarius. What do you say? It is?
Sagittarius.
What do y'all
It's
call
Sa-
it?
It's Sagittarius.
Hey,
Sagittarius.
Mad, do you take things for granted? He's moving me because he does say it that way.
The morning is suitable for scratching dumplings or trying to sell your soul to the devil. Those are your 2 morning
Those are
options.
Okay.
these are your only options in the morning when you get up.
It is better to take on the role of Yeltsin's wife.
Yeltsin.
Yeah,
Yeltsin.
Yeltsin. Who's that?
Boris
He's
Yeltsin.
a Russian dude.
Oh, that figures. If you are bored, stick your finger up your nostril. A separation of the mind from the brain may occur. How are you supposed to stick it up? Sorry. It is recommended to cry into a 3-liter jar.
That's a lot of crying.
It
Capricorn.
is-
I think this is the last one, right? Capricorn's the last one. Yeah, we covered everybody else. The horoscope suggests you commit a train robbery. What a bitch. It is better to spend this time with a woman dressed as Peter the First. It is advisable to engage in self-improvement. For example, learn the language of cheese.
Jeez.
Ooh, fluent in cheese, I see. Do
Indeed.
not even think of doing anything useful.
Never do.
Try not to howl at the moon. Try not to. All right.
The overwhelming urge. Deny it.
Gemini. I think that we haven't done that one. That's the last one. All right. Don't even know these people really exist. Gemini. It's time to smear your face with some hummus to make sure it's worth it. The best option today would be to put on a cardboard vest and go to a bathhouse with crocodiles.
That's
It's a very specific thing to do.
I really appreciate that. That's the best option available
Yep.
too. Like,
It would not hurt to remove all your organs. This will strengthen their health. Be optimistic.
You know, I gotta give them credit. I think this shit's legit, and they are just taking the literal translations of what the stars are telling them. They're not trying to church it up. They are just giving you the fast facts on the matter. And
True.
I respect that.
I think we don't have any localizers, so we're getting the raw
Yeah.
data. You know, the real Russian guts, and I don't know what it means.
And they're not putting in any of that fancy interpretive bullshit. They're just telling you what the stars are saying.
Yeah.
It does
Ain't no
seem
King
like it
James
would
this
hurt
shit.
to take out all your organs.
No, but the organs will be healthier because you'll stop fucking them up.
Yeah,
True.
exactly. I mean, formaldehyde is better than just straight.
I'm surprised you didn't feel your
Vodka.
liver like elbow you, but like, listen to this, motherfucker. Start with me. All right.
I thought
well,
I was supposed to buy a handle of vodka tomorrow, but I misunderstood my fortune.
Vodka.
Oh, yeah.
would you say
Waddle,
vodka because he's punk
Vodka.
waddle?
Vodka.
Well,
No,
well,
because these are
taking out your
Russian
organs to
horoscopes.
keep them healthy is
Vodka.
one thing, but our organs are disrespecting us, punk, and we have to remind them that we're alive.
Yeah, take that, you little piece of shit liver.
Everybody ready for a mailbag?
Woo!
Although the mailbag's hit tonight, voices from the void out of sight. We'll reply to your DMs and your calls. Let's see what's up in these digital halls. As the night plays, the groove still here. Your voices linger crystal clear. So keep sliding, keep dialing through. This is our mailbag groove where dreams come true.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Listen, this is the best I had. If you want, how about we get some more emails coming in and some more voicemails and with suggestions on what the show should be called. Anyways, unfortunately, no voicemails today, but we did actually get a few emails. So here we go. This is the first one. Hey, MADePAP crew. I have a few questions and thoughts. Number 1, why does Imp hate you? Number 2, is him. Number 2, is Imp a hostage? Number 3, did Imp lose a bet and is forced to be a part of your show? Moving on. I'm a big fan of punk, and you assholes need to start laughing. I don't care if you have to fake it. All right. Well.
No,
I'm starting to think I might know who sent some of these emails.
Slender Dad scares me.
I have a
Lil Chad
That's
needs
the
to
whole email?
No, it's still
What's
going.
up?
He talks about each one of us. Lil Chad needs to turn off that voice mod. Oh, listen to me and my cool voice, unquote.
My cool this is Steve, isn't it? You've been
Why-
blocking his phone number, so now he's sending emails.
hold on. He said I have a cool voice. I
Yeah,
think this
obviously,
because of a
it's an
mod.
insane person.
no. Clearly, this is a man of taste and integrity.
No, this is an insane person.
Why is Brahma scared to be on camera? What is he hiding? And finally, the myth, the legend that is the Brotorius MAD. Fuck you. With all my heart, Caleb. Cool. Thanks for the email, guys. Again, I will read anything you send. Next one.
That's fantastic.
Dear MADePAP, oi. I guess I got to do my Australian accent. Oi. I thought this was supposed to be about Aussie history. I finally caught up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do that. I finally caught up after the Finians arc, and you blokes haven't talked about anything I care about. Where's the Ned Kelly story, or any of the other easily remembered historical events and/or people of Australia? Who's in charge of choosing the stories? We should at least get a poll on what should be next week's topic. From way down under, Ned Kelly the Fourth.
That is not actually a bad idea to do.
That
a
is
poll.
actually a pretty good idea. We may start that next week.
Cool.
All right, hold on. Here we go. Next one. I will unring that bell if she, and in parentheses, you know who she is, doesn't stop flaunting her bajangas.
Well, then you're just gonna have to unring that bell.
Okay. Yo, why you bitches not highlighting that Sherry chick? Gay. Cool. Hello. Why is it cool to show off cleavage, but I get banned for showing the root? You guys are By the way, it says sexiest, but I think he meant sexist. You guys are sexiest, for real.
Either way, he's right.
What, because we banned him for showing the root?
No, we are sexist, and we are the sexiest.
Oh, hang on. I got another email. Really? Is that all you know? Got an email from the lovely Sherry who says you are gay. With a black guy. No, sorry, hold on, real quick. The email did not say you are gay with a black guy.
That's what I heard.
It said you are gay, and then had a meme of a black guy. Just,
I think that implies that you are gay with a black guy.
you know, I think we're just gonna switch to voicemail only.
No, we're not. He'll keep reading the emails. Just keep sending them.
Anyway, so if you want to join in all the fun, email at mattchismo@gmail.com, or you can leave your voicemail, which is the best of the voicemail, of the mailbag. There we go.
The bag mail.
Yep, the bag mail, 726-610-5357 to leave a voicemail. Say again, 726-610-5357. Also, you can leave a tip. Here you go. I was hoping that maybe some of those emails came with tips. They did not. Alrighty. Well,
I mean, that gay
You may
one
notice
probably
that-
came with a tip, but you weren't looking for that tip.
Oh, wow. That
and we'll chat. I guess get us started.
All right. I'm glad that Slender is being completely appropriate for our story today about the USS William D. Porter.
Yeah, there's a lot of myths around this, so I'm here to make sure you guys don't fuck it up.
Wait a second, you already know about this one? It's so well renowned within the Navy that it was.
Yes!
Ooh.
Everybody's heard of this ship.
We are not doing this tonight.
Hold on. Is that
My
because
question
you-
is, how did she get a hold of so many
Nope.
tips with Schmegma?
Wait.
Those are dirty tips.
Okay. No. All right. It's not racist. Okay. Because I wouldn't be gay with most men.
Hey, Mad, what was
Not
that?
all men, but most men.
Well,
he
what
has
did I
high
say?
standards.
What did I say?
You said most men.
I said all.
You said most.
Most.
You
said
said
most.
most.
You know, we
And-
haven't even started the story yet.
But you have high standards. We get that.
Shirtless volleyball with, a montage to jets. We get you have your thing.
You also seem to really like that Gosling guy.
Dude, he won me over. I did not want to like him after After
You can't mention him without him saying
And next
The
he's gonna
Notebook.
turn you over, and then he's gonna bend you over.
What'd you say about
Please.
entering?
Are you kidding me? No. I could never be about him. Never. That's the thought of that in prison has kept me from committing so many crimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Consequences are real, people.
Like people say, like prison isn't the fuck it's not. I don't want my no to be gone. You know what I mean?
Well, he
Nope.
doesn't. speak
My
for
no
all of
spot.
us.
Okay.
I think their no goes in your gone.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And when you say no, they say don't care.
Yes, a kid. Why I don't want to go, bro. That doesn't even. No, if that was the only thing I had to worry about, like, oh, I was a cop. I don't. I would commit more crimes, but it's the other thing.
They having to wear diapers
Huh?
What?
afterwards. Incontinence.
Wow, you had to explain way too much
Yeah.
for that one.
I'm not gonna move you all the way down because I wasn't listening. Like I lost the thread pretty early on when you were talking.
I only said like 4 words.
I was out in one. So all right, the Willie DEE.
All right. Yeah. So the USS William D. Porter was a Fletcher-class destroyer in the U.S. Navy. It was named after Commodore William D. Porter, who served during the U.S. Civil War and once steered his ship to safety despite being blind and severely burned after a pierced boiler. Blew up.
But okay, no, for everybody, questions go in emails or tips, and it depends on the floor and it depends on the food.
So, as indicated, the ship was nicknamed the Willie DEE by its crew and was one of hundreds of destroyers the U.S. built in a hurry during World War II. It was put into service in July 1943 with a crew of 125 men, no women at the time,
Thank
most
God.
of whom were inexperienced, having been in high school or working on farms when the ship was built. Because bear in mind that December 1942
What happened?
was Pearl Harbor, so this was put into production and off the line by July 1943. They may have rushed a bit.
I'm sure the quality though was still, you know what I mean?
It floated,
You know,
right?
You know, if they were giving it a nickname today, it would have been the Steamin' Willie Demon.
'Cause, my name is Willie Beeman, and I keep the girls creaming. Sorry.
I'm glad that you didn't go with a Japs reference on that one. So due to the rush production and manpower shortages, the crew had little time for training. After approximately only 4 months of training,
So they're set up for success from the beginning, right?
Oh
Yep.
yeah. It
So-
sounds like
Quickly
some of
made-
the jobs I've had.
Quickly
Yeah.
made ship. The only thing that's going to keep you from drowning out in the middle of the ocean. Also, you can pick it up on the job training.
Yep. So we've got, as we indicated, these guys who are just plucked from a farm, and after a mere 4 months of training, are being assigned a critical and highly secret mission as one of the escort destroyers of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was traveling at the time to North Africa for a secret meeting with Winston Churchill, Joseph Stalin, and Chinese General Chiang Kai-shek.
Wait, what? Wait, say that again. Who?
General Chiang Kai-shek.
Who is this?
The Chinese general.
Chi-
China was an ally during
oh,
World War
right.
II.
Yeah. Thank God that changed.
Then their imperial government got overturned by the Maoists and became a
Yeah.
communist
Then the
nation.
Ottoman Empire got it.
No, and then the remnants of the imperial China went to Taiwan and became Chinese Taipei, which was the U.S. recognized Chinese government until Richard Nixon.
You're adding history stories to this story that is not relevant.
You mean context and truth? Okay.
Ooh, mau, mau,
Context?
ooh,
How
mau, mau.
Thailand doesn't even exist at this time.
Anecdote lad being anecdote lad.
Did Imp actually say something?
Yeah,
was-
it doesn't
He
matter.
did.
Yeah,
He did.
Cool. All right, so the trip was so secretive that no one was to know about it until the commander-in-chief
Dear
arrived
Ma,
safely.
I'm going to be guarding our president across the ocean. By the time you get this, we should be there.
If I talked Chinese,
I hear we're
wouldn't be
going to do a
American.
live fire exercise tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope I impress everybody.
Okay. Listen, if our standard is going to be pronouncing everything correctly, I should be off of the internet entirely.
True.
In fact, you can go see one of Mad's greatest hits videos with his rhinosaur.
Well, that one's right though. It's been when we say rhinoceros, that is the romanization of his name.
Is it?
Is it?
Yes. Yep.
In me and Mad's mind, yes.
Yeah. Don't grok it. Just believe me.
Oh, okay.
So, Roosevelt's party consisted of approximately 80 people, including the Secretary of State and the entire Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Should they all be traveling together?
Yeah, they left the vice president behind.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
We left one person token behind.
Designated survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like the little kid in all those movies. Like, oh man, why can't I go on the adventure? You're too small.
Someone has to survive.
Someone's gonna have to tell him about the little engine that could.
I think at this point they hadn't
Major pain.
redone. You know, what is it? The amendment after Roosevelt died is when they went through the entire line of succession too. So, at this point in history, the line of succession is only vice president, president of the Senate, and House Speaker.
Oh wait, not that one. This one. It is 50 black butlers.
So Roosevelt and his group slipped out of Washington secretly and discreetly aboard his presidential yacht, looking like they were just taking a cruise down the Potomac into the Chesapeake Bay.
Why do you have so much luggage if you're just going on a cruise, like on a quick trip?
Mad.
Why did you have to
He's
bring
in a-
all 50 black butlers?
He's in a wheelchair. They need
Yeah?
it. They need
Does
it.
it take 50 black butlers to push one wheelchair?
In the 1940s.
True. Wheels were like pretty new at
Big
that time.
Stone.
Remember, his wheelchair looked like just like a like what was it just where it's like a straw chair that had wheels attached. It wasn't even anything fancy. So they in the Chesapeake Bay they rendezvoused with the battleship USS Iowa, where Roosevelt and his group boarded. The Iowa was a 45,000-ton battleship, and because it was so large, it actually had to burn off fuel before the rendezvous to avoid running aground in the shallow Chesapeake.
Jeez.
Dang.
Slender, everything okay so far from Mr. Navy?
So far, so good.
The crew of the Iowa didn't even know their mission until Roosevelt boarded the ship and was fitted. But they may have had suspicions as the ship was fitted with a special bathtub to accommodate him. This is the 1940s. They weren't really into
walk-in
ADA
tub.
accommodations, so something
Wait.
was up.
Hold on. So, was Taft before or after him?
My God, Punkwaddle. He was before.
Yeah, man. Everybody knows that.
Taft was the fat one who got stuck in the tub, right?
Are you thinking because Taft was had followed Teddy Roosevelt? Are you mixing them up a little bit?
Maybe,
Possibly.
but wasn't
Wait, which
Taft...
one are we talking about now?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Maybe,
You know, the
maybe
cousin
that's what I'm
touching
getting.
Gimp.
But wasn't Taft the one who got stuck in the tub?
Yeah, he was so fat they had to put a special bathtub into
So
the
White
House.
I mean, presidents just needed a bigger bathtub anyway, right?
If it was Taft, he definitely would have sunk his battleship.
Okay. So at this point, President is on board, correct?
Yes.
Yes. By the way,
All
President
right.
Taft is the only president to have been.
You've been waiting. Okay.
So yeah,
Well done,
President.
sir.
President Taft is also the only president to have, subsequent to being president, served on the Supreme Court.
Oh,
So he was a Supreme Court justice following being president.
Oh, nice. Man, maybe we can get Trump to do. If there's an opening, at least.
Yeah, him in a Supreme Court setting would be hilarious. So the Iowa was under strict orders to maintain radio silence, and as it started cruising, it was joined by 2 escort aircraft carriers for air cover, and 3 destroyers, including the Willie DEE, to
Dude,
protect
we should put Iowas back in service.
Iowa-class battleships.
Yeah.
Like in the movie Battleship.
Just for shock and awe.
But by the way, doesn't that draw a little attention with how, like, you know what I mean? All these ships and shit.
Yeah, it's not very discreet.
Well, I mean, this would be like a carrier group would have had. I mean, maybe Slender can confirm, but even a modern carrier group has like the aircraft carrier, destroyers, submarines, like
10 ships around it.
Oh, a strike group has at least.
And I think even in World War II, a carrier always had battleships and destroyers with it.
Yeah, and you can't leave a ship out on its own, especially with all the submarine warfare that was going on, because then the hunter killers would just come wreck it.
And what year was this?
1942.
43.
43 also. It started in 42. This whole story did.
Yeah. The Willie DEE, as Slender just mentioned, was specifically tasked with protecting against German submarines who were patrolling the Atlantic.
They weren't the real threat here.
However, things went wrong from the beginning, as Captain Wilford Walter backed the Willie DEE out of its berth in Norfolk. Its anchor snagged the ship beside it, ripping off the railings, life rafts, a small boat, and other equipment.
Well, I'm sure they stopped and took pictures and called in, like, exchanged insurance information.
No. The Willie DEE, having only sustained scratches on its anchor, Captain Walter decided to just issue a quick apology and then rush right off to join the Iowa strike group.
U.S. Navy hit and run. Didn't even leave their phone number.
That part might be a rumor. There's actually no confirmation of that in any of the ship's logs from the time.
Yeah, because you're going to write that down log.
Right?
I mean, if you're the captain of the ship, if you're the captain of the ship that gets fucked up, yeah, I think you'd write that shit down.
Sorry about your boat. We would stay, but we're doing this thing for the president. I mean, bye.
Gotta go.
So the convoy traveled at high speed across the Atlantic, with the smaller class destroyers struggling to keep up with the larger battleship. During the voyage, the ships continued training drills to keep the crew sharp, especially the inexperienced Willie DEE. After about 48 hours into the mission and an area known to be infested with U-boats, a large explosion rocked the water near the Willie DEE.
What color were the U-boats that they used the word infested?
Wow.
Go on. You can finish it.
Yeah. So during a training exercise,
I meant Slender. Like, I don't know what the answer is. What was the answer?
I don't know. I am not sure. I'm just saying.
Well, next
that's
time
a strong word to use for U-boats.
Okay. So during a training exercise, the crew had been dropping fake depth charges, but they forgot to disarm one of the anti-submarine weapons, which rolled off the deck and exploded in the water.
I'm sure he just quickly got on the radio like, yeah, don't worry about that. That was nothing.
So the explosion, well, no, radio
I
silence.
heard that was because it was rough seas and one just fell overboard.
Yeah, bro, I'm sure that's what that's what I would say too.
That's what I'd say.
So this explosion caused panic, with all ships in the group now initiating evasive maneuvers, assuming they were under
that
attack.
did happen. That part did happen.
The Willie DEE did immediately signal that it was an accident, which narrowly avoided disaster.
Guys, my bad. that was my fault.
Sorry, friendly.
They're using light signals, right, for this shit. Like with their light, they're doing
maybe
an SOS.
flags. Might have been flags if it was
they're
daytime.
traveling under radio silence, so they'd be
signals.
using flashing lights.
Yeah.
I think
So
the silence kind of is done with after a depth charge goes off.
well, no, because you
No,
don't want
up
the
on the
enemy
bridge, you've
inserting
got
the.
spotlights, right? And the spotlights have a little flapper on it so that you can close it and open it real quick,
Right.
and you send Morse code messages.
Yep, like
those can't be intercepted via radio.
My bad.
Yeah.
Nothing to
Sorry,
see here.
we fucked up.
We've only been doing this 4 months. Hi, Mr. President.
So the Willie D narrowly avoided disaster as the depth charge that accidentally
God, if
went
you're
off.
in a wheelchair, evasive maneuvers must really suck.
Well, that's
Just
why
go
you have 50
screaming
black
across the deck.
servants.
Where's
Where's my brake servant? Where is he at?
So, the depth charge had managed to sink just far enough to avoid blowing the ship
Blowing a hole in their own ship.
Yeah. The mishaps would continue when a freak wave hit the Willie D, stripping everything not tied down and washing a crew member overboard.
Dude, what nobody knows is that when that depth charge accidentally went over the side, there was actually a submarine hiding under their ship.
What? Was
and
it one
they
of ours?
destroyed it. No.
Wait, hold on. Is this real?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was like, dude, that would have been the headline if I was
wouldn't
this
it be
ship.
great, though, if everybody thought they were total fuck-ups and they just kept accidentally foiling the German plans?
Mr.
Slender's
Beaning
like-
their ass across
Like,
the
I
Atlantic.
want this to be a movie now.
Slender's
Mr.
over here
Bean.
going, I'm here to make sure you guys don't get any of the details wrong in this story. Let me throw in this complete lie to screw up the story.
You know what I'm thinking? This
I've
is like
still got to be funny, Brahma. I'm not like you. I'm expected to be funny.
True.
well,
I'm
you know
told
what?
I don't have to be.
I think this is like a normal fact checker, just throwing in random shit.
That is, you know what? Yes. What's up, McCracken?
Okay. So, this crew member who was washed overboard was never seen again
Why?
because he's
Probably
dead.
due to the
Matt.
death.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do proper man overboard procedures.
Yeah. So the
well, they
the
couldn't. They
wave-
were in radio silence.
so yeah.
You don't need a radio to do a man overboard sweep.
Well, they couldn't hear him because he had the whisper.
Save me. Save me.
Save my. I can't wake up. Sorry, come on.
So
Save me.
the same. So the same wave had also.
Even the guy in the water was like, well, I mean, we can't be loud. Hey, help me. Can somebody
Gotta-
throw me a life ring?
He got a little flash, like a pocket flashlight out, like dot 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 dash dash dot dot.
There appear to be sharks.
Real funny, guys. Okay, are you coming back?
Nope.
Will
he's
any
like
of the other 30 ships pick me up?
no. It's
You
like
think
no.
they were at the back of the boat, just like, sorry, we can't for the president. You know?
Can't turn around.
So, all right. So the same wave knocked out the boiler of the Willie D, leaving the ship without power, causing it to fall behind the convoy. Admiral Ernest King, who had charge of the strike group, ordered the Willie D to, quote, get itself together.
Oof. That is not what you want to hear from the
Nope.
admiral.
So
I didn't even know
in
they
ref-
knew how to say that in SOS with a light. How did he know? How did?
He just did WTF
Yeah.
Yeah.
over.
Cowboy
I
the
was about
fuck
to say
up.
the same joke, Slender.
All right, so he after the admiral gave the message, President Roosevelt decided that in response to the chaos, he'd like to see a demonstration of naval aptitude
Of
and requested a demonstration of how the crews of the strike
You're
group
not going to find any of that here, Mr. President.
would handle an air attack.
You know, since everything's been going great on this trip, why don't we?
Yeah, let's
move the
let's
stakes up?
ratchet up the difficulty.
So you're desperately trying to avoid any German subs, and it's
Yeah,
like,
but he's-
let's do training exercises while we're on our way.
It was
I
before
just want to
TV.
see it.
It was before TV, Brahma. He was bored. He's like, "Can we do something? How long are we there yet?"
It takes
I've
a while.
rolled from one end of this ship to the other over and over and over today. I want something else.
Then one of the guys down in the fucking galley is like, "Oh, you want to play hacky sack?" I made
Wait.
one out of rice and some old rags.
I'm in a wheelchair, you motherfucker.
These are culinary specialists. They don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference between walking and not walking.
Correct.
It's not like
I'm shitting on the CS just so hard right now. Thank God I'm not in the military anymore.
All right, so in response to President Roosevelt's request for the demonstration on how they would handle an air attack, they prepared and released balloons to act as targets for anti-aircraft guns, with the Iowa successfully shooting them down.
Nice.
Now, some balloons then floated towards the Willie DEE, and Captain Walter, eager for redemption, ordered his crew to shoot them down to
Smart.
demonstrate their prowess, which they did successfully.
Remind everybody that you're still there.
However, Captain Walter then decided to go further.
Dude, keep
and
your
order...
head down and your mouth shut.
So Captain Walter, going further than the anti-aircraft practice, decided they should order a practice torpedo firing to further
Which nobody wanted.
Overeager son of a.
For the balloons?
Yeah, so he
guys.
Captain, sir, I just want to reiterate, I think this is a terrible idea.
Well, that's why you're wrong. You gotta put it out there, man. Show a show. Trust me, guys, it's gonna work. We're gonna redeem ourselves. We're gonna get medals, and whatever we get on boats.
We're gonna get medals.
It would have been hilarious.
I
if
believe
he
they
was like,
call it clasping in irons, if I remember correctly.
Yep. So
it would be
yeah,
hilarious if like they signaled from the head ship, all right, we're starting the demonstration. Everybody take your spots, and all the other ships, everybody just is immediately in their spot, and everybody on the Willie DEE is just running around on deck screaming their heads off.
But silently. They're all using flashlights.
Get yourself together.
All right, so they want to do
Yeah, so-
What,
torpedo.
you wanted
Yeah,
a demonstration?
so Captain Walter, wanting to prove his crew's competence and
Which
go
there
beyond,
is none. But he wants to prove something they don't have.
So, competence in doing something that wasn't asked for, going above and beyond to prove that Go ahead, please.
okay.
boy.
What?
So-
We're so freaking awkward, bud.
Like, I was on your side. I'm like, there's gonna be a point here.
It's gonna be so
It's
funny
gonna
once he
lead to
finally
something.
gets it out there.
Well,
Don't even need it to be
okay,
funny. Just,
okay. The thing is, it's just so incompetently like. I'm at a loss for words for how, it's the kids that peaked in high school, but apparently they're still in high school, so they actually maybe never peaked, right?
what does that fucking mean?
Well,
I get what he's
because you were
trying to
saying
say,
these were
but he's
farmers
saying it
and
in
kids that
such
just
a
out of school,
wrong,
right?
long-winded way.
They're just trying to prove themselves, but they're just.
Hang on, M said that he can improve everything you just said.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
M.
say that. Number one.
You said you know what he's trying to say. He's just saying it in a horrible, horrible way. So what
It
is he
sounds
trying to say?
So what was he trying to say?
That
All
there are
right,
people
glad M's here.
All right, I need
He
another
started
drink.
talking.
I'll be back.
He's just very, very low.
I checked my volumes. Everything was where it normally is.
We can barely hear you, or at least I can barely hear you.
Oh, I can barely hear him as well.
All right, then I guess something got fucked with again. Let me check.
I just thought that was normal.
I mean, during the pre-show, you were decent.
Why
volume.
move Punk Waddle he aboard? You know, I have a feeling that you're gonna become the favorite.
I'm the
Punk-
unsung waddle.
Punk Waddle
The
believes
under-
in being is
the
pro-choice
under
about
penguin.
his making a joke on Mad's show.
I'm
How's
the
it
waddle
now?
of the people. You put me down, and I'll still make it.
Punk believes in late-term joke.
Look, I don't have a TV with lag latency, or refresh rate. So sometimes I just stutter and eventually get there, or it glitches out.
Hey, Punk Waddle.
What?
Every TV has a refresh rate.
Shh.
I'm gonna leave you down there, M, because that was an asshole thing to do.
Are you not used to that from me at this point?
Don't know, can't hear you. Where we at in the story?
All right, we're at doing
The
a
torpedo?
test firing of torpedoes, simulated firing.
Real quick, sorry. Got a picture sent in from Sherry. and I will save it if we hit the goal of. I'm gonna make it easy because there ain't shit happening. $50 to see what was sent.
You better hope your $1 donation guy comes back.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah.
If anybody sees
Wasn't
Andy
he
out
already
there, tell
mocking
him
us for
we're.
our bad pronunciation of Chinese generals.
Look, I can pronounce one Chinese general's name properly, and it's General So. That's it. That's
That is
the
some
only
great-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
you
actually
weren't making
General Tao.
you weren't making an abortion joke, but specifically
turned it into
Chad
an abortion
turned it
joke.
into yeah.
A late term one specifically because it fit Punk Waddle's delivery on that one. Because the joke was like 3/4 of the way out before it just got murdered.
When he was making the joke, all I could think about was that clip from The Water Boy, where he's like, I am not what you would call a handsome man. The good Lord chose not to bless me with charm, athletic ability, or a fully functional brain.
Oh, speaking of the Willie DEE. Chad.
Begin the story, Chad.
I know, I'm just moving mad for that one.
For
because
what?
That was a poor transition.
For what?
Because I was waiting for you to make a joke doing that. I thought you were going to have something to follow up.
You got
I
moved
don't
for an
Uh-oh.
improper move.
Channel owner calls a flag, throws a flag.
All right. Well, not that.
Wow, you
that
moved back
was-
up quick, but don't make it a habit.
All right. So the crew of the Willie DEE proceeded with the simulated firing of torpedoes, and were doing fine till they got to the third test firing, where they accidentally loaded a live torpedo into the tube and launched it directly towards the USS Iowa, where the president was aboard.
Why were they facing or aiming towards, of all the boats?
Mm-hmm.
Was it to get their attention?
I'm sorry, do dummy torpedoes not make any sound?
Oh yeah, but it's
Are
like,
we
"Ba-da-da," you know.
Damn it,
So, yeah, I'll attempt this again. So they dropped a live depth charge. They shot a live torpedo. Like, I mean, this is like I said. This is like, I think
They
that
should-
the Down Under or the Down Periscope movie was.
It's not far off. Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
movie.
They should have known something was wrong with one of the XOs going up to another guy going, "Hail Hydra," right in his ear. All right, so Lieutenant H. Seward Lewis witnessing.
Hold on. In their defense,
Oh boy, here we go.
one ship generally does act as the target for a simfire exercise.
The one with
The
the,
one with
president.
the president?
Not generally the one with the president, but it was his stupid fucking idea.
No, it wasn't. His idea was, hey, let's put up some balloons and shit. And we'll shoot those. The Willie DEE decided on their own, you know what we should do? We should target the boat with the president and go through torpedo drill.
These balloons aren't dangerous. Let's actually take out the rest of the fleet.
Josh Hammond, dummy torpedoes go D to D to D. So Lieutenant H. Seward Lewis, witnessing the event, described the next few minutes as, I quote, a shit show. The crew panicked with conflicting instructions shouted as they tried to warn the Iowa.
Always helpful.
Still bound by radio silence, they initially used signal lights,
Real quick.
but the signalman was flustered and signaled that a torpedo was in the water heading the opposite direction.
Okay, real quick. I get radio silence is important. However, I feel like I guess they didn't add this. They would have to add it later. There's an amendment to it. Unless you shoot a torpedo towards the ship with the president of the United States, radio silence. Unless that happened. You know what I mean? Like there should be some exceptions to the rule here.
It's like don't aim, even pretend a weapon that, even if it's not actually loaded, it's somebody that you
Yeah,
don't
treat
know.
all torpedoes as if they were loaded.
The universal rules of torpedo safety.
I think this is
Exactly.
why at this point when you're doing simfire exercises, you dry fire and you don't fire inert rounds.
He didn't ask for a torpedo demonstration aimed at him. He asked for the
he asked for
balloon
balloons for anti-aircraft, shooting into the air at balloons.
He was bored, not suicidal.
Sorry, were you saying that you should dry fire the blanks?
No, it's called a dry fire. You don't actually fire any projectiles out of the tube.
That's a worse problem.
Unless you're part of Hydra.
So, all right. So we're at the point where they initially the signalman told them there was a torpedo in the water going the other direction. Then they signaled to the Iowa that the Willie DEE was now in full reverse, which also was not.
We're
gives a
chasing
fuck?
it down.
Reverse.
Now, to Mad's point, finally, someone with a brain broke radio silence, screaming, "Lion, come right," which was code for the Iowa to turn quickly. Now, based President Roosevelt, remarkably calm, just asked to be rolled to the ship's edge so he could watch the torpedo coming.
He actually requested to be rolled to the starboard side because he wanted to see if he could spot the torpedo.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one in the wild.
Live one in the wild.
It's coming right for us.
Now,
Butler, hand me my rifle.
So the Secret Service, now trying to take the next level up in terms of smart things to do, drew their pistols and attempted to shoot the torpedo.
All right, I don't remember that part of the story.
So bear in mind,
that's not the Navy part. That's the Secret Service.
They're
part.
on the upper deck of the USS Iowa, shooting handguns. Probably at this point, either 45 ACP. Or 38 special revolvers into the water at a torpedo.
Let's say that it does. They are able to shoot this fucking torpedo flying through the water. What do they think's gonna happen?
Are you shooting blindly at the water? Because obviously,
well, no, you can see the torpedo.
Oh, okay.
Depends.
Secret.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Roosevelt's there calling it out to him, saying, "Hey,
there it is. It's coming right
I'll
for
be
us."
your spotter. Let's do this.
Wait.
Secret Service is like, technically, we're not supposed to be up here. The deck is kind
sloped.
of like being on a roof.
Yeah, true. Yeah. It's coming right
We're
for
breaking
us.
protocol, Mr. President, by being on the deck of this ship.
I would be honest. If this was Trump's Secret Service, they wouldn't even bother to try.
They'd have thrown him in the water.
if it was Trump, one of those 400-pound little women would have been like, oops, and hip checked Trump into the. Yeah.
I mean, firing at it with handguns isn't much better. You'd think the whole team would jump into the water and just get in front of the torpedo like you're supposed to when a bullet's fired at the president.
All right.
Or maybe evacuate them to the other side of the ship and put them into a lifeboat or something like that.
No, their job is to take the bullet or the torpedo in this case.
All right, guys, we got a
Secret
quick. Service guy and a Creon, and they're on a rooftop. That was a joke.
You should have let me cut you off. So, hold it would be the equivalent of, like, if you're a Secret Service president, you're on land. It's a land thing, right? And someone shoots, but they miss the president. You're not going to go run and get in front of the bullet if it's not heading. You know what I mean? The torpedo's missing the boat.
Typically.
Maybe.
I know that you're saying that it shouldn't work, but go with me here. What if it did?
All right, so where are we at? All right, so Roosevelt's like, ooh, look at this.
So so Franklin Roosevelt's looking from the side, just watching the torpedo coming. Secret Service are shooting down at this torpedo from the deck. The Iowa then makes its sharp turn, and luckily the torpedo detonated in the wake of the sharp turn, about 100 yards away from the ship.
That feels pretty close, though, for a torpedo still.
Yeah, that's 300 feet. That's not far.
Unfortunately, the president was thrown over the railing.
They really do this shit. I don't know if y'all have ever heard me talk about it, but after Katrina, right? They had to put out a warning because there were dolphins that had escaped during the flood from some military thing, and they had an apparatus attached to their head that had poison darts that they could shoot. And
Oh, I
these
thought-
dolphins were
I
in
thought
the
you were
water.
going to warn that they had like mind powers like Darwin
No,
from
no, this is real
Sequest.
life, bro.
They got freaking
Anyway.
Like
lasers on
Congo,
their
but in
heads.
real life.
It's real life. Anyway, so they had to send out a warning. Hey, if you see a dolphin, don't go up to it. It has a poison dart gun attached
It
to its
will
head.
trank you.
Take
Take your chances with the alligators. The dolphins are deadly.
they codenamed it Project Steve Irwin.
Crikey.
All right.
You just made Grant very sad.
Aw.
Who did?
So,
Imp.
so after this incident, the Iowa immediately turned its main guns on the Willie DEE, suspecting an assassination plot.
Yeah, as they should.
Or as they were, but they were informed that it was merely gross incompetence.
Just still shoot him.
Captain Walter admitted, "We did it," explaining it was an accident, with Admiral King ordering the Willie DEE to leave the convoy and sail to Bermuda.
And
where
then-
the-
and then-
Go home.
Then, to make up for it, he saluted twice as hard.
You didn't think you were going to be able to use that one, did you?
Nope.
All right. So, upon arriving at Bermuda, the crew was met by armed Marines and immediately arrested.
Why?
The first and only time an entire U.S. Navy crew was detained, with sea mines placed around the ship and a closed-door inquiry following. After several days, torpedo man Dawson admitted he had left a primer in the torpedo tube causing the launch and had thrown it overboard to hide his mistake.
I get that.
Nobody's going to notice.
Just
The-
throw things overboard. It worked last
But-
time.
I'll say this, though. You have to give him props on his integrity. Not when he threw it over, but because they were just going to get, everybody was going to be in trouble. And so finally, although it did take a little bit, he did step up and admit that it was his fault.
Yeah, and then the NCIS investigators sat him down and immediately interrogated why he didn't use the fire suppression system.
Oh,
as he-
fuck off. I thought you were. By the way, so no, it's not a myth because Slender didn't say anything.
I'm waiting to issue my corrections till the end.
No, as we go, please.
That is a
The only-
myth.
The only guy who's not in trouble is the guy who got swept overboard and never seen again.
The torpedo man was removed from the ship, and he did face court martial. Nobody else got arrested. The arrest thing never happened.
But did they quarantine the whole
Did they
ship with
detain him?
mines?
No, they didn't. They reassigned it. They gave it a shit.
Well,
duty,
eventually,
but
yeah.
There was never an arrest of the entire crew of the ship. That did not happen.
Chad, remind me not to do any more of these stories.
Okay, so the incident was kept secret, with Lieutenant Commander Walter and several other officers reassigned to obscure shore duty and not given a naval command on the water for the rest of the war. Dawson
So
was...
they managed to keep that secret while their
That's-
one outing, or their first outing, they could not keep the secret of where the president was in the middle of the ocean?
That's also
No, they
a
did
myth.
keep it.
What? That
No, they didn't. They dropped a depth charge and torpedoes.
That commanding officer, for some ungodly reason, did retain his command, went on to command several other ships, and eventually retired as a rear admiral.
DEI strikes again.
Apparently, shortly after this, he did dye his hair blue and start talking about injustice in the system.
Oh, and late stage capitalism.
Clearly, we
I
had
was
our...
raised by two moms. You can't fire me.
we need to go back and research this, because now I'm starting to believe in transgenderism, because this was clearly a woman trapped in a man's body.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to finish the story. Why don't we switch? We might as well just switch to Samuel Whitmore.
See, this is why I didn't want to issue the corrections till the end, Matt.
It's fine.
I'm actually enjoying the story.
All right.
I'm enjoying
So
it too.
Dawson,
I
the
was.
torpedoman, was sentenced to 14 years in a military prison with hard labor.
Slender,
But
what was it really?
I'm waiting to see if the rest of the information is correct.
But Roosevelt intervened, ordering his release since the incident was accidental.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
After
But he
the
did
in-
face 14 years hard labor.
I mean, there you go. So after 1943, the Willie DEE became a pariah and considered a cursed ship,
Why?
greeted by other ships with "Don't shoot" were Republicans when it would pass by. It was sent to Norfolk, then through the Panama Canal to the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, where it patrolled.
Wow, they didn't even send them to real islands. They sent them to illusions.
Illusions?
The
Illusion
Islands.
Island,
We don't see them. We swear they're there. Keep looking.
It's an oasis.
as seen in Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Haven't seen it.
Where it patrolled uneventfully for a year. Just before reassignment, a drunken sailor fired one of the ship's big guns with a shell landing in the base commander's front yard during a dinner party, exploding in his flower garden.
Not true either.
God dang it.
Oh.
A lot of these stories were made up after the fact.
The
Okay,
Navy
well,
then
stop
sent-
ruining him.
Yeah, the Navy then sent the Willie DEE, now with a more seasoned crew and a new captain, to the Western Pacific to engage in escort duties in the Philippines and operations in the island hopping campaign.
At some point, do you not think to just rename the ship? Be like, okay.
I think there's something in
Renaming the ship is
yeah.
a worse idea.
Yeah, isn't there something
I don't
that
know.
makes
It's about as bad as it
no,
can get at the
no.
moment.
There's a lot of superstitions with Navy people,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
if you
renaming,
rename
like
the ship, you've cursed that ship forever.
Well, let me ask
Maybe
you.
call it by its official name then instead of the nickname or something. I don't know.
I don't think that would change anything. But let me ask you, Slender, if your dad, right, in his will, he gives you this boat, right, but the engine's bad, so you put a new engine on it, and then you put a new anchor on it, then you put a new wheel thing that you use to steer thing, and then you put new sails on it.
A new
and
helm?
Yep, that too. All those
Okay.
things. And then like new sails and new wood.
hold on.
and-
Are you doing the ship of Theseus
Yes, he is.
philosophy question?
I'm just asking a question.
He's just disguising it cleverly.
I'm just asking questions. Anyway,
I'm
just
just
asking
asking
questions.
so you replace everything on the Willie DEE.
Rename it the Harvey Milk.
You replaced everything on the Willie DEE. Is it still the Willie DEE?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is
Because
the
it
take
still
on
has his
renaming
soul?
the Harvey Milk?
What?
Yeah. What about the boat that was renamed the Harvey Milk?
No, they're renaming it from the Harvey Milk to the USS Liberty. Or
Are you against that, Slender?
Yes, 100%.
Oh,
Don't
so
rename a ship.
you're for Harvey Milk.
Yeah. If that's what the ship was christened as, that is what the ship is.
so the ship
Until
is forever
decom.
destined to be a gay rights activist and
Who had inappropriate relationships
California
with
politician who, yeah.
It's the hold on.
Dude,
It's
fucking take it down to Florida and make a reef out of it, but don't change its name.
No, I'm gonna say it, Brahma. It's an experimental ship. It's the only one built to take torpedoes in the rear.
I know this joke.
So just explain what is the curse of renaming?
It's curse.
It's just a curse. If you rename a ship, bad juju
Why is
will
it one
follow.
of the worst ones though?
It just is. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a superstition.
Yeah.
Is
It's
there
like-
something that has happened to multiple ships that were renamed? Or
Who knows?
Yeah, ask the pirates.
Yep.
They came up with most of these fucking things.
It's like when the Cowboys.
I think it stems from a lot of times back in the day, pirates would take ships, right? And
Yeah.
they would then be like, this ship is better than our ship. We shall take it. And then
Mm-hmm.
they rename that shit, and it always went bad right after that.
Oh, you think that would
Never
have
mind
something
the
to-
fact that they pissed somebody the fuck off by
Right.
stealing a ship.
And the pirateers and the British Navy all after them, but no, it was because they changed the
just
name of
needed
the
to
boat.
It's because they changed the name.
They blamed their poor choices on something else.
What the fuck? Like tattooing a pig, a chicken crate on your feet for protection?
No, you tattoo crosses on the bottom of your feet so that sharks don't eat you when you're in the water.
How often do ships get transferred to another navy?
That is bad juju, and yeah, it happens. We sell them to other navies.
Oh, sell them. Yeah, but like, what we is it like GameStop where you're buying old ships and then reselling them?
Basically, yeah. We don't sell them the good shit. We sell them like third generation.
Are you saying that instead of flipping houses, you should get in the business of flipping boats? Like, it's kind of
flipping
trash.
battleships.
I'm gonna paint
Actually, Punkwaddle, they're not boats. They're ships.
those. You know what? Fine. Flipping shit. I mean ships. I'll get in the business of flipping. Never
Punk, you just got to win. Don't.
Yeah. I'm good.
Put me on
I'm
the
good.
bottom row. Oh, I am gonna march my ass out of here.
Oh my God, I forgot. Okay, fine, you're up. Back up. Sorry, Brahma.
I did nothing wrong.
You know how I feel about the bottom row.
Wait, Punk, you said a bad word?
Uh-huh.
What was it?
I said flipping ships. Oh, I did say boat accidentally, yeah.
Wait, do you not curse?
I never said I didn't curse.
I've never heard you curse. Are you Mormon?
Say fuck right now. Say it.
You
Say
better
fuck.
say fuck. You better say fuck right now. You get moved to the bottom.
I am at the bottom.
He's in the bottom.
Too much pressure. I said flipping shit, calling him out for losing
Sorry.
his shit over flipping boats. That's what I was trying to do the wordplay on. I'm sorry. Did I disappoint you, Sherry? And I don't want to make my fans sad.
I mean,
Josh
it's okay
Hammond
to
is
say-
saying that Slender Dad has that top vibe going.
Mm.
All right. So the Willie D now.
Oh, I'm on
trying-
top of Punkwaddle now.
Oh yeah.
That should be an automatic bottom road demotion.
No,
I
it'll be an
would-
automatic bottom row demotion when he changes the PFP.
Well,
So
that and
the-
there were no jiggle physics. What?
So the Willie D was working to right its reputation. Unfortunately, then the Battle of Okinawa happened, where it accidentally riddled a sister ship with gunfire after mistaking it for an enemy.
Well, that happens. Or did it happen, Slender?
Aren't they usually like
Say that again?
together?
It accidentally fired on friendly fire. It accidentally fired on a friendly ship in the naval
It's
group.
sister ship.
I never heard that one. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I feel like maybe the Navy people started covering up for how bad this ship was because it was.
I feel like the exact opposite, and maybe the Navy people started making up a whole bunch of other stories about
They
it too.
urban legend.
Because
all
they
of
get
the other
real
things.
fucking bored.
That's actually that feels.
On June 10th, 1945, while patrolling off Okinawa to intercept Japanese aircraft, the Willie D faced a unique kamikaze attack. A Japanese plane shot down by one of the Willie D's anti-aircraft gunners
Nice.
crashed into the water, but
Good.
continued moving underwater towards the ship.
See, when they were shooting down the balloons and shooting torpedoes, they should have been doing. That was good practice.
The ship continued moving towards the Willie D.
No.
Ugh. I don't like when Slender actually has a face.
I
I
don't
didn't
like
know
that.
that Vladimir Putin is now on the MADePAP.
Is that fucking powder? Man, he's gonna.
It looks kind of a mix between powder and M&M.
It looks like old powder. Like he got old.
Right, he's just been around electrocuting shit and bringing back dead deer.
I don't like when he scrolled down to his chest to look like lovely Sherry, but there was nothing there that was worth looking at.
Oh, I can have Grok fix that. Hold on.
No. Why don't we just focus on what we're doing here? After you change this one.
After I
Yeah.
change this one?
Yeah, yep.
He's disobeying a direct command. That's definitely
No, I'm
The
just
bottom.
taking my time. Hold on.
All right, Chad, go on.
Yeah, fine,
Okay,
we're
so
back to this.
it's
So, yeah.
underwater.
So yeah, the Japanese aircraft is now underwater, proceeding towards the Willie DEE, and it manages to
Yes.
make it.
Sorry, real quick. Yes, it's the Malcolm in the Middle kid without the big ears.
Dewey,
Yeah, that's the one.
the littlest one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so it managed to make it directly under the Willie DEE and before exploding, and as a result of the explosion, the Willie DEE was lifted out of the water, breaking the was it the stern line? What is it? How do you say it? The
The sternum?
steam lines, whatever, causing fires. The crew fought for 3 hours to save the ship. I don't know why at this point, but it was abandoned and sank 12 minutes later. Remarkably, no crew members died, and the Willie Dee's misadventures remained classified until 1958, when it was revealed that this was the first naval ship to have been sunk by an underwater kamikaze attack.
I guess now it's time for corrections.
The Willie
No,
Dee.
mission-
No, that's true. They did
Do-do-do-do-do.
manage to shoot
He's
the
loving it.
kamikaze down, and it did basically hit the water at such an angle that it went directly beneath the ship, and then its payload went off.
Yay, we did it. We're screwed.
I feel like that is probably the
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
most appropriate ending to any of it, any story we've heard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
At least they were
That-
aiming for the boat when it blew up. That's
At least they
harsh,
shot
but-
the plane.
I'm
That-
sorry,
I-
ship.
Hey,
Thank you.
Chad, let's move into the other one because we got time. We got a lot of time here.
Let me get that one.
It's a quick one too. The next story, ooh, it's a special secret story that you didn't know if you just read the title.
Which one is this one? It's the
Sammy Whitmore. And this one is 100% true, all facts, no
Yep, There we
bullshit.
go.
Slender can't do anything about it to ruin
Nope.
our joy.
Yeah.
Slender,
I'm sorry.
you've been a
Yeah.
very,
I
very
told you I
Greta-like
would wait
person
till the
tonight.
end until I issued corrections.
All right.
You said no. I want
Okay,
the corrections now.
What were the other corrections? Were there any more?
No, I issued them all at the time that they were happening because Mad asked if
It-
they needed to be corrected.
In Slender's defense, I would have done the exact same thing if it was an army story.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have. Because you, Mad, believe in printing the legend, even if the truth
What the
gets
fuck?
in the way.
No. Well, what? Just because I've said don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story? Okay, fine. I see that you're using my
But you
words
didn't
against
say
me.
that. Your grandpa said that.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my grandfather who said
But you took it to heart. You
When
believe
he
it.
was
I did.
preaching out in the pasture?
You're basically you're gonna Liberty Valance any story you get.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
All right, so we're
Secret
now
duper second story. First, this is a first, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a MADePAP first.
so
Is it?
now we're traveling back to 1696 in the town of
Oh,
Charleston,
good. We'll have an 11-year-old working then.
You don't know.
Charleston,
For
Massachusetts,
the paper.
where Samuel Whitmore was born.
Okay.
But now we're going to take a time jump to about 50 years later.
Don't know. Okay, well, I'm glad we started there.
Pappy Van what fell asleep?
So,
I mean, it's like you don't want.
Rip
You
Van?
make me hit you. You know, I don't want to do this.
Wait.
Why you
this is-
make me do this?
I didn't know this was an abusive relationship.
Oh, it's so
That's
abusive.
so abusive. But it goes all ways. Just like some people on the panel.
all right, so so we're fast forwarding to 50 years later, where at that point, bear in mind he's 50, he's serving
Mm-hmm.
as a private in Colonel Jeremiah Moulton's 3rd
So he-
Massachusetts Regiment.
What we can take from that is that the prior 50 years he has made some excellent decisions. to end up as a private, at the age of 50. Things are going great.
In the colonial era.
Old ass private.
In the colonial era, when 50 is like you're used up and dying most of the time. All right, so he served so in the 3rd Massachusetts Regiment, where he fought in
I'll grab him. Thank you.
King George's War in 1744 to 1748. Do we call it King George's War, or isn't that the French and Indian War?
Yes.
Mm.
Yep. All right. Now, eventually, I guess he makes the captain in the Dragoon unit.
Well, to be fair, I mean, if you've ever seen a movie, that can happen pretty quick. How
Yeah.
long did it take Rico to be in charge of the entire squad?
That's true.
Of the Roughnecks. 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 Not
So,
Roughbacks. Oh, that's something different.
Brokeback Roughnecks? Wait, sorry.
So,
I was referring to Josh's
Is there
comment.
a link for this channel? Yes.
No, not is. Why is?
Why is there a link?
channel?
Boo!
all right. Anyway, so he
The
makes
link
his
is
way
to
up.
tip. Awesome one.
So we're
'Cause
talking
Matt
about
likes money.
dragoons now.
Yeah, so Samuel Whitmore is
Oh, hey,
now
what's up, Zach? Didn't see you there.
joined up joined up with the cavalry unit and becomes a captain within the Dragoon unit, an elite British cavalry unit feared across the globe for their fierce fighting abilities. Wait, isn't this the unit that was in the Patriot?
The Dragoon unit? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, so he's gonna kill Mel Gibson's kids. That's messed up.
Well, we'll see.
Wait, no, he would have been, if this is the 1740s, he would be in his, never mind, he's gonna be dead by then. Just
Sweet.
did the math.
Got it.
All right, so this again was King George's War, also known as the French and Indian War, with Whitmore being a part of the contingent that of the dragoons that assaulted the frozen shores of Nova Scotia and clobbered the French at their stronghold at
Yeah, eat it,
Louisbourg in
French.
1745. He would, as an officer, he was known for galloping at the head of the company. And in this battle, he emerged from the flames and smoke and ruins of Louisbourg, holding a gaudy and over-decorated longsword that he had pilfered from the lifeless hands of a French officer who, in Whitmore's words, had, quote-unquote, died suddenly.
Oh, that's great. Like, by the way, and that's very cinematic. He runs in and he comes out of smoke and fire holding this awesome sword.
Yeah. So he then spent a brief period on board a ship that was hunting for pirates.
Of course. What did I say? What do we always get? We always get people that work either at a newspaper or they go hunting for pirates.
Or get set on fire by pine needles.
That happened, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just because they didn't have their vermilion.
Vermilion, that was it. Scott asked me what it was earlier. I was like, I don't know. Firmament? Nope.
Imp steps in just to prove that he actually does listen, even if he doesn't say things.
I used to do the same thing when I was a cop. I would be watching, something on my tablet, and then every once in a while you get a call and be like, "Hey, I'm not dead," and I'm not asleep.
I'm awake.
Would you rather
That's how I got through school.
hunt? Would you rather hunt pirates or get in a tickle fight?
Pirates.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Are you
Britain
making
did-
your horse gallop?
Yes.
So
I'm a
Britain did-
dragoon. See my top hat? I checked. It's the right time of the year for it.
So, Britain did return Louisbourg to the French, who spent years and a fortune rebuilding and rearming the fortifications. Then in 1758, the British decided to retake and forever demolish Louisbourg.
So it was the Iraq of North America.
Yeah. So, Whitmore was always ready to drop his farming tools and pick up his weapons and march off to battle. So even though this was 13 years later, returns and participates in ruthlessly crushing the French once again.
Oh, he's 63 years old, gets bitter and probably just wanted to get away from the wife.
Yeah, but don't we all?
They're like, Sammy, you shouldn't go. You're 63. I can't listen to this bitch tell me one more damn thing.
So, serving under British commander James Wolfe, Whitmore once again, upon returning, proceeded to steal everything he could get his hands on after serving valiantly, pounding the city into rubble a second time. It would mark the end of France's Atlantic colonies.
Good, about time.
Quebec would fall shortly after, and the French would be chased out of Canada forever.
Well, were they?
So Whitmore decided to continue.
Example A, that the French are still hanging around.
So Whitmore remained, instead of returning, Whitmore remained with this unit, and a year later he was part of the group that marched on Quebec, where he fought with General James Wolfe against French General Louis Joseph Marquis de Montcalm.
Fuck him for that name.
Yeah.
Good job, Chad. By the way, good job. That I couldn't imagine having to fucking try to pronounce that bullshit. Say it again.
Louis Joseph Marquis de Montcalm.
Louise Macron Petit de Coron. See?
Baguette. In 1763, Ottawa chief Pontiac led an uprising in the wild, distant lands that would one day become
We named
Michigan.
a car after him?
Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Whitmore was then 68, with sons and grandchildren ordered to stay home and work on the farm.
Grandpa goes to war.
He proceeded to go off to war with his French sword and other weapons he had previously stolen.
Yeah, no, not stolen. He got them from recovered from people who died suddenly.
After pounding the town to the ground, he took what was left.
Whitmore had left riding a rickety old horse, but returned months later in triumph on one of the best stallions ever seen, carrying a matched pair of ornate dueling pistols.
And how did he get these things?
Again, he said that the former owner of the dueling pistols, an enemy officer, had again, quote unquote, died suddenly.
I love that's his line. This dude is such a badass. He has a catchphrase.
This is the like all of the stories. Grandpa is like some hardened warrior and like
he's 105.
Yeah, he's just like, y'all stay home, y'all deal with the stuff.
Ooh,
Grandpa's going.
no.
Okay, I gotta add this.
It's
right?
like he's just walking around with vaccines in his pocket.
So I told Grok to use the picture that I have right now, and I said, give him a French sword.
Okay.
It reprinted the exact same picture. The sword already ran away before the picture was even finished being made.
No, I thought it would have been a white
Cheesy
flag
surrender monkey.
just sticking out of your pocket.
French people, yeah.
By flag, do you mean surrender? No, I'm sorry. Shit, fuck it. I fucked up. Sorry, go on.
A white flag is a sign of surrender. So
Yeah, I know. I was going to say by French sword, do you mean a white? Yeah, I've already put myself. You know what? You go down for pointing out what I've already pointed out.
I think I should go up above you for having made the same joke before you tried to make it and you screwed it up.
You go down for trying to get attention to yourself.
You're a son of a bitch.
I'm ruling with an iron fist tonight.
All right, so after serving in 3 American wars before America was even a country, Whitmore decided to settle down in Massachusetts.
I think I'm 97 years old. I've gone into 3 wars. It's time for me to settle down.
So over his life, he married 2 different women and sired 8 children.
Those are rookie numbers.
However,
Yeah, he was 87.
Whitmore proved to be just as aggressive in private life as he was in war.
Didn't that one guy we talked about have like 26 children or something? And they shot him 16 times and stabbed him to death on the road, and he got up and went, I'll fucking kill all of you.
Yeah, but was that the Mormon?
Rasputin?
I
You know what I'm
it's
talking
easy
about,
to get
right,
26 children when you have like
I
17
believe so,
wives.
but we should keep going on in this story.
I don't want this story, though. I want to talk about all the stories we've talked about. I want
So,
to have
I don't.
memories.
This was supposed to be the short one.
So
Omnibus?
as an example of his heated private life during an election contest in January 1741, he loudly declared that one of the contestants for public office, the proud Colonel Roderick Shipley Vassall, was no more fit for office than Sam's elderly horse Nero, whose value he assessed at less than £5.
What? So he told this dude, "You're so shit. Like, you're worth less than £5."
You mean you're
Yep.
so ship? Sorry.
The infuriated colonel promptly and illegally
Nailed it.
had Whitmore jailed. Vassall sued him for defamation of character. No, sir, you cannot name say that I'm as worthless
I am
as
worth
your
at
horse.
least 6.5 pounds.
The ensuing trial was a heated and well-attended one, as covered by law tuber Nick Ricada. Whitmore, who made an admirable witness for himself,
Hold on,
won.
pause. No.
No,
Not
yeah.
now. Not ever. It'd be
Nuh-uh.
if we ever decide we're gonna do a 12-hour live stream, we might do Ottoman Empire Part 1 with Chad, and the rest of us just won't be here.
I'll say this: I do like that. You know, the idea of somebody else coming up with a story and getting it all together and having it ready for tonight.
I'm pretty sure Imp said he was all over that.
How's that going?
Not well. Me and Croc don't get along.
Also,
I don't
we
get
did a
along with
12-hour
Eric either.
live stream once, and that just made Chad and Slender enemies.
So again,
That's why I'm not going to the next one. I'm just letting Chad go by himself.
Wait, but what if I'm doing it?
But it did get Scott to Orlando.
Yep.
I know. And by the way, for people in the chat wondering about that, if you get a membership on Brahma's channel, you'll be able to look up the old videos on Sporking's channel too.
What?
Just saying. I'm just trying to get him memberships. Memberships on
Cool.
Brahma's channel. You can be tipped. Mad has a tip link if you haven't already seen it
And-
in the chat. And if you tip him, at some point he may acknowledge it.
And he may show the meme that Sherry made.
That's
Did you
right.
say
Yeah.
Slender is required to be there because Schadenfreude? No, definitely not.
Now, don't be saying German words to the French guy. He'll get all nervous.
He's
Who's
American.
who's French?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm American.
No, I
Fucking
think he's saying
American.
Deeple is French.
I'm afraid of
No, I was referring to
Americans.
Slender.
Oh, okay.
All right, Punk, you got one free bad joke.
All right. So after winning his case, Whitmore promptly turned around and sued Colonel Vassall for false arrest
And for
after
wasting my time.
and after another sterling performance, the court gave
Wait, how much
awarded,
did he sue him for? £5?
Well, no, after his performance, the court awarded Whitmore the equivalent of $6,000 in current
Holy
year
shit.
dollars.
Holy crap.
All
That's
this
a good
was
suit.
all this was before Samuel Whitmore became a national hero. He became famous on a midday in April 1775. The British colonies were tired.
He's
of King-
120 years old.
He's 70. No, he'd be 75, 79.
79. So at
Yeah.
this time
Dude,
in
that
history,
guy's fucking ancient.
he is
He's
the
a
oldest
grumpy old-
man ever to live. Like no one's lived this long since Noah.
Meanwhile, our last two presidents have been that age.
Well,
The
not at this time.
Methuselah of his
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
now.
Grumpy old bastard. Oh, sorry, I cussed again.
So as the British
that's one.
colonies,
That's your one.
Dude, I think every time he cusses, he should just automatically get moved up the ladder.
No, I want him to cuss though, but him apologizing for it is what's bothering me.
I'm okay with that, as long as he does it. Just let him apologize for now. In a couple
Okay,
of weeks,
got it.
he'll stop apologizing.
I mean,
Got
the
it.
president
I was
laid
just
out a
going
bomb
with
this
the
morning.
thing. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, you know. Not
No,
really
this isn't the
apologize.
bullpen.
so
How would you know what
Samuel-
happens on the bullpen? You slept through it.
Oh my god, I fell asleep one time.
I
One
swear,
ti-
guys,
oh,
I'm
come
going to
on,
be
man.
there.
One time, Mad.
I'm going
I
to have
didn't s-
dinner. I'll be there in a few minutes.
I guess I sat on the couch. I was just gonna, rest for a minute, and then it was 3 a.m. I don't know.
Well, what did you have for dinner, Rufalin?
Hold on. Can we at least appreciate that Matt has evolved to the point where we don't get the 4 a.m. messages like, hey, where is everybody?
What time's the show?
All right, so
Sure, he's the first Croatian anyone has known.
I mean, the only other one I've ever heard of, and I don't know him, but I've heard of him, is Mirko Krokop, the MMA guy, but that's about it.
Punk,
Well
you get
said,
another
Dr.
free one.
Well
You get another free one.
So at 79 years old,
Poor him.
Samuel decided that he should fight again and fight on the side of the colonies. On April
Smart.
19th, 1775, approximately 1,800 British troops were marching from Boston to Concord, Massachusetts, to capture a reported store of colonial munitions. At Lexington Green, they were confronted by about 50 militiamen who carried a variety of weapons, some decades old, and some manufactured by village blacksmiths and gunsmiths, but all in working order and capable of killing. When ordered to disperse, the Minutemen said no, and firing began, and that resulted in the result being 8 Americans killed, while the rest left the scene.
Sorry.
What
Somebody was making people sick
Oh.
on purpose. But I don't know who Anima Confucia is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're
That's-
not in here. I don't know them. So it still holds true that the only Croatian we know is. I thought Croatians were crabs.
I didn't. I guess I
That's
didn't realize Anima
crustacean.
Confusa was Croatian, but I know who that is.
Can we just share the wiki that Lil Chad is reading? What the
Who
fuck,
said that?
Deeple?
How dare you? That's not even close
Oh.
to what this is.
Okay.
I was
Months
sent-
of thought goes into these shows.
So
yeah,
much
I'm-
research.
Hold on. First of all, yes, I do have to put all these stories together. And then Chad has to correct all my mistakes in what I put together.
Spelling and grammar mostly.
Then I have to come in and correct all the mistakes that you let go to print.
And I have to pretend to be funny.
I have to pretend to
I
care.
don't pretend.
Man, I wish I wasn't up here. I would move you up.
All right. So the British proceeded to search for the munitions, which were cleverly hidden because they did not locate any. Learning that Minutemen were now swarming towards them from as far away as Worcester, and realizing that the munitions were too well hidden to be found at this point, the British began an orderly retreat towards Boston. On their retreat, they were constantly harassed by militiamen hiding in the trees and shooting.
You know that has to be
should've-
frustrating because you're like, what? We can't. They're in the where? Why don't they have like war clothes?
They're not allowed to shoot at us. We're having tea right now.
Think about it. They're walking around in this bright red. By the way, the hubris of your military being dressed in a bright red.
No, it's so that the bad guys can't see them bleed.
Yeah, it's like getting the brown pants.
All right, that was your one free one. I'm gonna say it has to be frustrating because you're like, they're not playing by our rules. Why are they in the woods just shooting at us? They're supposed to line up, walk towards us, and we each take turns firing at each other.
Well, this is a
Yeah,
good one
era
for
of
that
warfare
then,
is
Mad.
Pretty dumb.
Have you seen this, Mad?
Nah.
We've just arrived in the colonies because there was some bitching over a tiny 3% tax. Not that big a deal, but whatever, this shit'll be easy. What the actual fuck? Where the hell are they? Unless they're lined up 10 feet in front of me wearing bright blue uniforms, I can't see them. These guys are such assholes. What kind of a dickhead doesn't line up in a straight line and patiently take turns shooting one another?
Fucking awesome.
These colonials are worse than gonorrhea. They hide behind trees and pick us off while we pass through single file wearing bright red. And you would know, Corporal, even though we're the superpower of the world, we still don't know how to counter this ingenious tactic of hiding behind trees.
What's
God
up, King?
damn, we've been here 8 years and are just getting our shit pushed in. These boys weren't kidding. They really do hate taxes. Okay, this is our last stand. We may have a chance if we just... Nope. Shit. Never mind, those ass-smelling French are here. I'm here in place of Cornwallis, because apparently he's really sick today, to deliver terms of surrender to that giant stud right there.
That's fucking great, dude. I love that.
It was
That is
perfect
appropriate
timing.
use of AI.
We're just getting our shit pushed in.
That was yeah, it was perfectly fit where we were at with the story too, because the worst harasser of all was one 79-year-old captain, Samuel Whitmore. When the redcoats came marching through his hometown, Whitmore was working in his field and knew nothing of the invasion or the deaths at Lexington, but he spotted an approaching British relief parade led by Earl Percy. So Whitmore decided he was going to do something about it.
Based on what? Their vibe?
Positioned himself behind a stone wall, waited in ambush, and then single-handedly engaged the entire British 47th Regiment with nothing more than
haven't
his
we
own.
done this story before?
No,
No.
not officially. I may have told you about this story.
Okay, you must have told me then, because I remember this.
Yeah.
So he had a single musket, and he was holding off this regiment. He fired off his musket at point-blank range, ending one redcoat gentleman right on the spot. You know, he died suddenly.
Yeah.
He quickly drew his twin dueling pistols and shot two more redcoats, killing one grenadier and mortally wounding a second. A British
So killing two.
Yeah. A British detachment charged, and Whitmore pulled out his French sword, the one he had claimed years before. And
He's like, let's go, motherfuckers.
Shouldn't have bothered with the French sword.
Time to get Whitmored.
and this almost 80-year-old man stood his ground in hand-to-hand combat against a couple dozen trained soldiers. He was shot in
who
the
were the
face.
age of like his great grandkids.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, in their defense, right? They would get so much shit if they were the guy that killed the old dude, right?
Okay.
Like,
This makes me think of somewhere between The Matrix and what was that? The movie about made by the John Wick guy, but it was that old gold. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Or the preview where he's just throwing a pan with a mine on it and blows somebody up.
are you talking about that weird one where it's the Scandinavian dude?
Yeah, he's like he's
Oh, that's a
panning
good
for
one.
gold.
And it's
Yeah.
it's like a really gory.
Yeah, that's a good fucking
film.
movie.
Like it seems like a mix between that old dude and the lobby scene from The Matrix, where it's just like drop, 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 shoot.
Nah, he only fired off 2 shots, and then he was like, I
3.
don't need the guns anymore.
He had the musket.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
he couldn't take time to reload them.
he was 3 for 3 with his shots, though.
Yeah.
But back then they didn't
At
have
point
all the
blank.
clips and the automatics. So I mean, just think about how money, how much money is over time. It's the same like bullets and the inflation of it all, right?
Man,
Are you
I
really
know
going
had a
somewhere
free-
with that?
I knew you had a free one, but damn, like I feel like I gave you half of that for free, but that second half.
And
it
by
was-
the
yeah, it's
way,
just you.
the proper
soon,
way to
yeah.
do that kind of colonial fighting is to be like Last of the Mohicans, where you shoot the guy, drop your musket, run up, take the other guy's musket you just killed.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
I'm just imagining Whitmore walking across the field going, no, and then somebody going, hey, where's old man Whitmore? I don't know. I think he's walking over there on water.
Down by the creek, walking on water.
Boo! You messed up the line.
So Whitmore was shot in the face, knocked down, and bayoneted 13 times. The Brits left him for dead, bleeding on the road, and marched off.
Yeah,
But
of
they had
course.
called down the thunder, and now they got it. See, that's how you do the line.
Yeah, I wish I could move you up higher.
So when his friends rushed out of their homes to check on his body, they found a half-dead old man still trying to reload his weapon.
Tell them they forgot something. Get them back here.
Dude's
And-
not even trying to get to medical attention.
No,
or anything.
totally-
He's like,
Flash wound.
Yeah.
he is the Black Knight. He just
Yeah.
does not give a fuck.
So this really
You
made-
yellow bastards, come back here. I'll
Hold up.
bite
Wait.
your legs off.
You know what? I never believed John Wick could happen in real life. Now I'm starting to think maybe
Yeah,
a
he
guy
didn't even have the
could
bulletproof fucking suits.
Yeah.
His face was apparently bulletproof.
So,
Okay,
Whitmore,
yeah, imagine getting shot at like a musket ball. That is like being hit in the face with a doorknob.
Yeah, a doorknob traveling at a couple
Yeah.
100 miles an hour.
All right, we call it a draw.
All right, call it a draw.
all right. So, he was Whitmore was taken to Dr. Cotton Tufts of Medford, Massachusetts.
Doctor what?
Cotton.
Cotton.
Yep.
Dr.
Cotton.
Cotton Tops?
Tufts.
Cotton
Tufts.
Tufts. Okay.
Is that
I was going
one
to say,
name?
Does that
did he
mean
have
they're-
a problem with Pooh Bear trying to steal his honey?
Well,
What?
that or was his family in a different line of work, and he said, "No, I'm not working in the cotton anymore. I'm going to be a doctor." Why?
So was his first name Cotton and his last name Tufts?
Yes. He was
Cotton
first
Tufts.
name. He was
The
Cotton-
Jim Rabbit.
The original
also-
puppet.
Did he get his shins blown off in Korea?
No, but he's from the same Tufts family, by the way, that would end up founding Tufts University, a famous.
Oh, really?
yes.
Look at that. McCracken pulled it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
He had the honor of working on this motherfucking legend, Sammy Whitmore.
yep. So he was brought to this Dr. Cotton Tufts, who took a look at him and said, "I can't do anything. This man will die." Whitmore disagreed, and he did not
I
die.
will not.
And he didn't just not die then, he survived the entire war, finally dying in 1793 at the age of 96.
Because God wanted to meet him.
What did he die from?
Because God wanted to meet him.
Gonorrhea.
I mean, it just feels like God's like, okay, all right, enough. I had to come down there and get you myself.
In 2005, I mean, this guy is clearly an ancestor of the Wahlbergs, too, by the way, because that just fits Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, I mean, from Boston, yeah.
Yep. In 2005, I mean, or at least the character that Mark played in, was it, why am I blanking on the movie with Jack Nicholson and
Fucking
The
Departed?
Departed.
So you
Departed.
think his ancestors became underwear commercials and called themselves Marky Mark?
I mean, have you
just
seen
one of
Mark
them did
Wahlberg? Yeah.
He's done other things. He had a rap group.
Yeah, the Funky Bunch.
Yep.
Yep. So
See,
in
that's correct.
2005, he was declared an official state hero by the Massachusetts legislature.
By the way, fuck them for taking that long to recognize his greatness.
Yeah.
They-
Dude, I found a picture of his doctor. Hold
Okay.
on. Hold on.
You know, I was really
He's
hoping
adorable.
It was a puppet.
Oh, it's Dr. Reen Tufts.
It's Dr. Cotton Tops.
Isn't there a song about cotton tops?
Actually, colonial rabbits is an adorable thing that you should make more AI art of. That would be hilarious. So they proceed. They now, after declaring him a state hero, they built a monument where he had his skirmish, and it reads, "Near this spot, Samuel Whitmore killed 3 British soldiers at the age of 80 on April 19th, 1775. He was shot and bayoneted, beaten, and left for dead, but recovered and lived to the age of."
I don't think
Although-
that's enough. I think it should, because that undermines the legend that is Sammy Whitmore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was the honey badger of his time.
Yes.
Yeah.
If only he had been with the Massachusetts when they charged in that Carolina beach fort during the Civil
Oh,
War,
glory.
things might have been different. Because that
Only
was
lived a couple years longer.
that was the Massachusetts. What was it? The
Oh, I was thinking of
58th.
something else. I think that worked out well for the two stories, even though apparently I've already I guess in private told Slender all about them.
It just, I was so confused.
Anyway, let's see. A lot of comments here. Cotton Mather's given name was his mother's maiden name.
Cotton Mathers.
Mathers, yeah.
He lived so long because bayoneting unlocked his chakras. Huh?
All right. So I know I said that you had to hit the goal to get this, but since we didn't even crack it, and I don't want to be a dark side Phil kind of guy, like, oh, you can't get my leather vest until I get the money. I will share it quickly, and then it's just gone. There you go.
Waddles in the corner.
Oh, I didn't even see him the
Oh
first
yeah,
time.
look at the way he's staring up.
He's just trying to get into the boat.
Let me on.
Grant Gregory's like, no, get off. You
No, it looks like
and
Punk
Grant
Waddle.
Gregory is definitely wearing Australian swim trunks.
It
It
was-
looks
you-
like I'm. Yeah.
If you draw a straight line from Punk Waddle's eyes, it's going to an inappropriate part of Grant Gregory.
It really,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
You
sure
check it
it's
out.
more directed at Mad's junk.
No, it's the line is going.
Matt
right
doesn't
to
have
Grant-
any junk in that picture. What are you talking about?
Thank you for that in that
I've
picture.
been set up.
crew of the USS Willie DEE.
I think she's trying to make me cuss more.
All right, well, that's gonna do it. That was fun. Next week we'll start doing that whole poll thing. We'll have a selection of like 3 stories or whatever. Thank you. Who was that made that?
Sherry.
No, God, no.
It's somebody in the emails, right?
Yeah, I forgot who it was. Oh
It's
yeah, that was
probably
Ned
Steve.
Kelly the fourth. Sorry,
Oh.
No, Ned.
Oh yeah.
that was the Australian guy. But yeah, we're still gonna do it even though he's foreign. The guy that came up with it.
Mhm.
But so we got that going on. Oh, horoscopes, and don't forget that if you want to if you want to participate in the show, you can call and leave voicemails at 726-610-5357, or you can send emails to madcheesemo@gmail. I got another one from somebody. Did I already tell you about that one? Oh, I'll tell you next week. And I guess that'll do it. Don't forget. Oh, what is a meocovanine?
A story to do, I think.
Right. I got that.
Well,
What
the
is-
point
what-
is we
what
don't
is it?
know the stories, so
Yeah, you want one of us to look it up?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody's going to need to do it. Cynthia Dildo, if you're not busy, you could always look it up and send me the story, and then I'll have Chad do the fact checking and corrections.
Sure.
So we'll do that. We'll make a note of that. Anybody got anything?
no.
No, no, I'm kidding.
Cool.
I
Well,
think
tomorrow
is that the White Death?
Oh man, if this is gonna be about some serial killer or somebody that's like, and he
No, he was a Finnish sniper.
Oh,
oh,
that sounds on par with some of the stuff we've gone over.
is we normally I think Sammy Whitmore may be the first time we covered somebody who wasn't a complete shitbag or wasn't a complete, you know what I mean?
And got a job at the age
no,
of 50,
he's
not
the
11.
guy who did all the meth. Never mind.
Oh,
He was still a Finnish soldier, but not the sniper. He
Now
did
it
all
sounds
the-
more
he
like
did all
something
the
we can
meth.
do. Oh, memes. Yeah, that's normally not something we do, but since you did send them,
I'll see if I can put together something for it, but there's not a lot here. I'd have to dig deeper.
oh, where are they?
oh.
I forgot about it. This
Probably
isn't like
under your post.
yeah. I got a lot of tags here. Oh, more smegma stuff. All right, I'll show the ones I can share.
What?
Oh,
wait,
no.
wait. What the hell is this?
Crap, hold on.
Deeple, you're not a producer. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, you know what? What now? What now?
Oh, I'm
Okay,
gonna get
go. Yeah,
nauseated.
yeah, we're good with that.
We're not back. We're not on the ships
right.
anymore. We aren't going to get seasick.
How do I? This is, you know,
I think a depth charge just fell off the back of our stream.
Mhm.
Armed.
Somebody accidentally shot a torpedo towards the president.
Here,
Somebody
fine.
had the
Look, here's
intestinal
one.
fortitude of a
Moving
lace
on.
doily.
There's a meme. Moving on.
You know,
Let's see,
you're right,
let's see.
McCracken. The Watership Down is actually very appropriate in this moment.
What the hell? I don't even know what this
Watership
has
down?
to do.
What is on your screen?
I don't know what this is from Deeple. I don't know what it has to do with us, but
Slanesh approves. Slanesh. Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know.
I don't know.
One of the demon gods of Warhammer 40k.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
I don't know enough of that lore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's way hotter in these pictures. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh,
Not
I think
all
I
of
found
these are
them.
age
Okay.
appropriate, I don't think.
All right, here
For
we go.
Slanesh, no, probably not.
When you see a
Turn safe
car
search back on.
in your neighborhood with California. Oh, he called me a sex machine. Her actual words were, "You're a fucking tool." Well, clearly, she's wrong. Look at that guy. Haven't seen liberals this mad since yesterday. Ew, gross.
No, go back. Go back.
Yeah,
Nope,
I missed it.
can't.
I didn't
Go
see it.
back.
What happened? Am I still sharing it? Oh man,
You son of a bitch.
Son of a...
Disappointed in you,
I
Mad.
thought I accidentally unfollowed you, Brahma, because I clicked over to the right too far.
Oh, unfollow.
I may have seen it. Anyway, let's see. Oh, tomorrow night I'll be doing it's the premiere episode of Shag's
Replacing Shags?
Yeah, Shag's midweek hump replacement hour. Nope. Mads.
fuck are you
Nope.
talking about?
Well, there's an open time slot tomorrow that I'm going to try to take.
Oh.
No idea what I'm going to be doing.
Or maybe you
So
just
we're
let
totally
Brahma
gonna stream
sleep.
games during that time slot, right, Brahma?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm
That's what I was
definitely
going to
not
do.
going on a stream.
Why not?
Let Brahma sleep, man.
Wait, I'm sorry. So you're definitely not going to go on a stream during the time that you were on a stream?
Exactly. I finally get a freaking night off.
Wow.
I'm gonna take the freaking night off. That's fine.
He'll take that night off for like the next 3 weeks, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I gotta do more
Ooh.
streaming," and he'll immediately book something. I'm sure.
Over under how many? Let's see. Let's do 3 weeks. Anybody going to take the over?
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Not you. Anybody going to take the over?
I don't.
All
do
right, well, I think that
sports
says a lot.
gambling.
Everybody's taking the under on that
The
one.
Mad Hump. It's not bad. But we need to come up with a name for this show. Why are you guys already trying to come up with a name for a show that I probably won't even end up doing?
We gave you so many names for this show.
I
will
don't
not
remember
give
them.
You another name for this
I did
show.
not write them down. We should
Sounds
roll
like
Roll
me.
up.
Yeah, but we wrote them all down in the private DM group.
Then
So
write
all
them
you have to
again.
do is scroll back.
And
you
they
can
were
see 'em.
really good.
I can't remember them.
I'm not giving you any more names, as so far you have demonstrated to me that I am casting pearls before swine.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like that too.
Okay, well, I send it art on Friday. I guess that's about it.
Yeah, 9 p.m. You're gonna be there this week, man?
Yeah, bro. What are y'all
There'll be
talking
game
about?
streaming on Wednesday or Thursday.
Probably
as well.
F1 since that comes out this week.
He's also going to make dinner about 5 minutes before the show.
He's not gonna
So
make the
yeah,
show.
he's not gonna make it.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't make it that time either. What happened was I was like, oh man, I need to wash this pan real quick, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go take a break. And then
Yeah.
3 a.m. But
We desperately needed you to moderate Chad and Culture Casino because, you know, Chad's temperature was rising and nobody could tell.
Dude, I made the right decision not joining that panel. 'Cause- oh boy.
whoa, did it go bad?
Oh, culture
it
was.
was-
Culture
We can
was
talk.
actually.
No, I want the real
Yeah,
story,
let's-
not
let's
the
get the real story.
YouTuber over it. Let's not talk shit about people. All right, that's
That
it for
was
us,
a
guys.
perfectly good discussion.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
We were
I
all
agreed with
happy and
culture.
friendly.
Ironically.
Ooh, let's we get some heat between Chad and Brahma. All right, bye everybody. We'll see you next week.
MADePAP production. now, Mr. Kansas law dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy? Yeah. Yeah, that's real good, law dog, because law just don't go around here.
They keep on calling me, want me to put it down. Oh, baby, run to me, don't go from smile to frown. Hey, law dog, law don't go around here. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all.
I want you to know it's over.